Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday morning, June the 8th. Still continues to be smoke in the skies across the mid-Atlantic region, the northeastern part of the nation, the Great Lakes as well. A persistent north to northwest flow of air in the lower and middle parts of the atmosphere have funneled smoke from wildfires over Quebec, Canada, that developed several days ago, and that smoke is just moving from north to south, and it continues to hang around today. It's certainly not as dense in some areas as it was yesterday, and it'll continue to hang around into the weekend, but there will be periods where there will be improvement as well, and showers are in the forecast for Friday, and certainly that always helps out cleanse the atmosphere some. And by the time we get to the early part of next week, it looks like a beneficial rain event is increasingly likely for the mid-Atlantic region, where it's been very, very dry in recent weeks. Well, not only is the smoke a big part of the weather pattern here in the last few days, but really the cool temperatures are noticeably below normal for this time of the year. And not only in the mid-Atlantic region, the northeastern part of the nation, but look at this map from Penn State's EWAL site, where they have departure from normal as 1300 GMT, and it's virtually coast to coast below normal conditions here, in some cases more than 20 degrees below normal. In fact, State College, Pennsylvania, where Penn State, of course, is based, tied a record low this morning. The last report I saw was down to 46 degrees. That tied a record low, but all these negatives represent below normal temperatures, as much as 30 degrees below in the southern part of California. The quite noticeable part about this is that it's so widespread. Again, basically coast to coast below normal temperatures in this ongoing weather pattern. Well, let's take a look at a visible satellite loop. This is from the College of DuPage weather website, and there is certainly some smoke and haze throughout the mid-Atlantic region. Again, not quite as concentrated as it was yesterday afternoon and evening, and a lot of clouds here over the northeastern part of the nation. Now, let's take a look here at the radar, and what we see, there's some showers already popping, maybe even embedded thunder upstate New York and across the western part of New England. Even a little bit of activity now starting to form across the coastal New Jersey down maybe soon over the Delmarva Peninsula and then south of D.C. A little bit more unstable of an atmosphere today, and it gets even more so on Friday. Certainly will be some showers later today. Let's say Pennsylvania northward throughout the northeastern part of the nation, scattered showers. But that becomes even more prevalent on Friday, down all the way down into Maryland and Virginia. There can be some showers, maybe some thunderstorm activity. So the pattern is slowly evolving here. Of course, we've had very, very dry conditions in the mid-Atlantic region, for example, for the past several weeks. But things are looking better now. There's certainly an increasing likelihood for a beneficial rain event Monday night time frame, and that is on top of whatever we can manage to squeeze out of the atmosphere later today, tonight, but especially during the day on Friday. Again, Monday looks like a potential beneficial, appreciable rain event for the mid-Atlantic region. Well, let's take a look at last night's zero-Z run of the GFS. Is the operational version. Let's start off by looking at the 500 millibar height anomaly pattern. This is the way it looks right now as we begin the day here on Thursday. And this is a key player. It has been virtually sitting and meandering around the northeastern part of the U.S., the southeastern part of Canada over the last several days, and it is funneling smoke from these wildfires in Quebec down into the mid-Atlantic region, even into the Great Lakes, places like Cleveland, Detroit, Toronto, getting affected by smoke as well, and all the way down into D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. This is the way it looks today, and let's just go back 3 days here, 72 hours, and take a look. And here's the pattern just 3 days ago, and again, this is a very similar look here to that upper level low sitting and spinning around the northeastern part of the nation. So we've had this persistent pattern here, and it continues as we begin the day here on Thursday. Now let's push forward from Thursday, and we'll see there a couple of spokes of energy will kind of rotate around that upper level low, and one such piece of energy will set off some shower activity today into tonight, and then perhaps a little more robust wave of energy, short wave, will do the same thing, set off some showers and thunderstorm activity tomorrow and tomorrow night in the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. So let's move forward here. Again, still see deep upper level low here situated on Friday afternoon. Lots of blues here. That's below normal heights associated with that upper level low here. And it lasts right into the upcoming week, and then finally starts to kind of kick away here. Looks like a decent weekend shaping up for the Mid-Atlantic region. Probably plenty of sunshine on Saturday, and at least partly sunny conditions on Sunday. So this wave that has been kind of dogging the northeastern part of the nation for several days finally kicks on out over the upcoming weekend. But we'll see here right on its footsteps another upper level low starts to take shape here by Monday, and this is the potential beneficial rain event setting up here in the Mid-Atlantic region on Monday. You have this upper level low moving over the Great Lakes. At the same time, there'll be a surface front sliding from west to east across the Midwest into the eastern U.S., and it'll tend to slow down, and surface low pressure may form along that frontal boundary zone. And here we go into Monday night, Tuesday time frame. Very impressive upper level low situated over the eastern Great Lakes. Especially impressive considering the time of the year. We're now into the middle part of June with all these below normal temperatures. Quite impressive indeed. And the thing I want to point out later next week is that right on its heels, there's another shot at some rain all the way into the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic region. This is now going into a week from right now, next Thursday. This is that third upper level low, one right now sitting over the northeastern states. That kicks away this week, and a second one develops over the Great Lakes by the time we get to Monday. And here's a third one moving into the Midwest a week from now, next Thursday. And it slides all the way towards the Mid-Atlantic region by the end of next week, and that could bring another round of rain. So certainly some hope for more and more rain events here in the Mid-Atlantic region over the next several days, where again it's been very dry over the past several weeks. Well, here's a look at the 850 millibar temperature pattern. Again, very cool and dry. Dew points way down in the 30s yesterday in places like D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. That's quite uncommon for the early middle part of June, and temperatures way below normal. Again, State College, for example, may have set a record low temperature this morning around 46 degrees last I saw. It's really cooler than normal across much of the nation, going all the way into the southwestern U.S. We saw that map from the Penn State E-Ball that shows below normal temperatures virtually coast to coast. Now, let's move forward here, and this cooler than normal air sits and spins along with that upper level feature here over the next couple of days. Here we go into the upcoming weekend, and we certainly don't have hot and humid weather, any kind of a Bermuda high setting up anytime soon for the eastern U.S. Here we go now into the early part of next week, and again, this can be a beneficial rain event setting up for Monday night time frame, places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Notice, cooler than normal from the Mid-Atlantic to the Midwest, all the way across the central states and central plains, and then significantly cooler than normal across the southwestern U.S. This is by the early part of next week. Very, very warm conditions relative to normal up across Canada. By the way, Quebec, where these wildfires have originated, really has not been all that hot or dry. In the last 30 days or so, relatively normal temperatures, relatively normal precipitation as well, and yet some wildfires have broken out in Quebec. Here we go now into the middle part of next week, and still kind of an area below normal temperatures up across the middle part of the interior part of the nation. And notice very warm conditions relative to normal breaking out by the middle of next week across Texas, Louisiana. That could set up kind of a battle zone region, a clash zone region right here between the cooler than normal air to the north and west and the warmer and probably more humid air to the south and east. In other words, possibility increases for some severe weather by the middle part of next week in the middle part of the nation. Well, let's wrap up by looking at the surface forecast maps from the operational 0Z GFS. Again, a couple of spokes of energy will rotate around this a surface low and upper level low over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. And one such feature will set off some showers primarily to the north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, really Pennsylvania, upstate Pennsylvania, north across the interior part of New England, all the way down to coastal New England as well. A threat of scattered showers. Nothing too heavy, nothing too widespread. Then we go into the overnight and kind of wanes, and then another spoke of energy will rotate around and cause some shower activity, maybe an embedded thunderstorm or two, all the way down into northern Maryland, northern Virginia, maybe DC on Friday afternoon into Friday evening. These are scattered Friday, later today, tonight, and again on Friday night. Then we get into the upcoming weekend, and remember earlier in the video discussion we talked about that upper level low finally scooting off the northeast coastline. It sets up a pretty good weekend in the mid-Atlantic region, but then attention turns to that midwestern feature here. By the time we get to Monday morning, we'll have surface low and its correlated upper level low sitting over the central Great Lakes. At the same time, there'll be a frontal system extending from the surface center all the way down across the Midwest, and they'll tend to slow down as it approaches the eastern states. In other words, that upper level feature kind of takes on a negatively tilted trough axis here. And let's just kind of pinpoint where this frontal system may be. This is Monday morning now, right in this region right here. And again, it'll tend to slow down as it slides across into the eastern state, and that certainly will help to increase the chance for a decent rainfall right here. Kind of a negatively tilted trough axis in the upper part of the atmosphere, extending from northwest to southeast, and that enhances upward motion right in this quadrant of that upper level feature here, and that all increases the chance for beneficial, maybe even soaking rain. We can only hope here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, this is Monday night time frame, and we talked earlier about a third upper level wave, and here we go. By the time we get to the middle of next week, we'll be looking over the Central Plains, the Tennessee Valley. There'll be a third upper level feature that could set off some widespread showers and maybe thunderstorms, and that too can make its way into the Mid-Atlantic region maybe a week from now, next Thursday or Friday time frame. So certainly there are increasing chances for rain after several weeks of very dry conditions in the Mid-Atlantic region. The smoky weather pattern will continue for another couple of days, albeit not quite as dense as it was yesterday in the big cities of the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, the smoke can be a factor not only in the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast U.S., but not across the Great Lakes, cities like Toronto, Detroit, and Cleveland as well. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.